straight. This is strange, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, Robin Rick. It sounds like Rudolph is in the building. When Rudolph's nose goes off. I don't know about that. Rob Benedict, ladies and gentlemen. You know, every time we come out here, and it's like Close Encounters. Hi guys. We've done this before, I promise. So we will figure it out soon enough. Hi Las Vegas.
I was gonna say, every time we come out here and we do that jump ending to that song, I always wonder, is today the day one of us blows a hip?
You mean you've ever jumped without blowing a hip? Because 17 years, every time I jump, something breaks. It's also the first convention we've had. So we finished filming on Tuesday, season 14. So we are 5 days into our final hiatus.
5 days into our hiatus period.
How are we looking? Good?
I ain't shaving. I have to put those clippers in my face every morning, and I've been doing it for a couple of months now. It's gonna be great.
Shower? You gonna shower at all?
Shower?
Yeah.
Overrated.
No. Agreed. Yeah, I think we've had a lot of news since we saw y'all last. And
Jared, I have a question for you. It's a personal question.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Share with the class.
It's all the force is strong with me today.
Okay, I'm gonna bust you. Have you guys heard of these things? So they've taken, you know, like the, what is it, the non-smoking patch thing?
Nicotine?
Nicotine patches. Nicorettes, though.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So they've taken that technology now and they've applied it to...
They're also like cigarette patches and Advil patches, narcotics,
right. So it's this like slow absorption technology, and they've now brought it mainstream with hangover patches. So where it's like this slow...
This is an unpaid advertisement.
I'm not... Yes, it's called the party patch. It smells, man. And this is, I literally am like...
I can't get my...
And I'm like, do you have a party patch on? And he's like, yeah, 4. But they smell like
That happened in Vegas.
really intense B vitamins, if you know what that smells like. Which, it's a gamey scent. It stinks. But it works. And that's the important thing. Anyway, well,
hi guys.
When in Las Vegas, keep in mind that's just a preparatory thing.
It stays in
It doesn't necessarily need it unless he needs it.
Yeah.
And then it's there. Smart.
Well said. Okay, let's go ahead.
No, let's keep talking. I want to talk about how your experience at Vegas has been so far.
It's great. How has your experience been? They're standing up like, when are they going to call us? Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm better because of the party patch.
I have not ever seen a ghost. I have not ever had something really supernatural happen to me in real life. I have certainly seen... Let me explain the difference between supernatural and unnatural. Unnatural. Supernatural. Natural.
Awfully natural.
Yeah, like you said, Sterling's done an amazing job, and that's, I don't think that was any shock to he and I. We knew that when he was on our, when we were very fortunate enough to get to work with him, that he was quite a star.
Season 2?
Yeah, 3, that's what I was going to say. We knew that he, like, the talent was, the force was strong with him. And it's certainly no surprise that he's...
Funny enough, I went back and watched the episode Wendigo, which is a funny episode because now Han Solo that was his first ever job, Alden, who's awesome. Corey Monteith, rest in peace. But also there were two, in Wendigo, there were two guys that played brothers, and I think they've worked since then. They were like named Sam and Dean Winchester or something. They look totally different now, and they're doing totally different things. But it's been very fortunate.
My question is, after the final season, will you change your appearance? For example, will you never shave again? Up here.
So you've had to, never mind. Jared?
Have a mic.
You've got the most hair. Okay.
How would you know?
All right. Where were we? You were up there.
Up there.
We were talking about Jared's Viking braids on either side of his ears.
Viking spray? The Viking spray? Don't be like the common knowledge. All right. Which side are we?
Well, no. Listen, are you going to change your look when the show's over?
Yes. I'm going to.
You see Borja over here?
He took the wig off.
Dude, you know how much
after all these.
You know how much charitable money you could get?
That's true.
Lots of love. What did you send your charity? What was your charity for? St. Baldwin's? St. Baldwin's. Children's cancer. You know how much money you could raise getting rid of that mop? And don't worry, I'll let Misha do it.
I will say, I'm not going to say it. That's it.
You guys smell like a party patch. Yeah, look, I think that he and I both will probably change a little bit. I think just in an effort to kind of maybe gain a little bit of our own.
Ourselves.
Yeah, well, no, seriously, like kind of gain a little bit of our own identity back. I mean, we've spent so much time with these characters that they really are kind of a part of us. And not to say that we want to get rid of them by any means, because I know that this is the best.
Yeah. That makes
it. Imagined a friend that I've ever had in my life. But you know, Dean will be a part of me for the rest of my life. That said, I don't have to look like him for the rest of my life. So,
Thank God.
I don't know. It really depends on what our wives want us to look like.
Always like for the last, not the entire show, but for the last, maybe like season 8, so the last 6 years, I've always thought of going bow-legged. Seeing like at 6 foot. But what is it like?
It's airy. This is, you know, there are bonds that have been made throughout this show and throughout the experience of watching the show and being a part of this audience that I know will last a lifetime. So I know we will all go on and you know, do other things and meet other people and stuff, but I strongly believe that the relationships built over the past 15 years, at least with the cast and the crew and the people that we've worked intimately with for so long, will last a lifetime. And I also hope that, and I think I could safely say that there's a lot of relationships that have been made because of this show that are going to last a lifetime. But that is one thing that really fuels us up. Yeah. I know that there was some questions out there about like, oh, now that the show has a finish line in sight, does that mean that these conventions are going to end too? And we're already signed on to do convention shows past the end of the show. So I certainly hope they don't, and I don't believe they will for quite a while, if ever.
Deep question. I think he sort of touched on it earlier about sort of getting to know our kids and wives and ourselves, and I'm certainly excited about that. Shaking. It seems very vapid, and but there's a really cool, curious sort of like lunch. What am I looking forward to? You know what? There's a funny we travel a lot. We film 20 episodes, so 160 days. So each episode films in 8 days. And we travel to different cities a lot for conventions or for press or whatever. So when I wake up every day, there's a moment of like, where am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Am I in Vancouver? Am I filming? Am I in Austin? Am I gonna make eggs for the kids and let the dog out? Am I in Chicago, Vancouver, Nashville, Rome? Am I flying today? So I'm kind of excited for the boring, quote unquote, humdrum life of being I'm excited to be a dad.
Yeah, I've never known my kids without the show being a part of my life. My wife and I have never been in a relationship when this show hasn't been a part of it. It's all we've known. it's just it's been a constant for so long that it really is going to be kind of just interesting to see where life goes, and I think that I'm certainly looking forward to having the opportunity to spend more time with my children, and have the opportunity to spend more time with my wife and with my friends and with my family, and with those that I would love to see more that I don't get the chance to. The opportunity to not get on an airplane every 3 to 4 days, and the opportunity to remove one of the Chris's and put my name in there.
Newsflash, you're not Australian.
No, again, the opportunity, not saying I can. But
Just one more question.
yes.
Real quick. Jensen, are you going to be the new Batman?
I don't know, I've never had the opportunity until now. So I'd say that's probably what I'm looking forward to, is the opportunity to do a lot of things that I haven't been able to. But again, I want to say that I have been very, very happy letting certainly the professional parts of those opportunities go by these past 14 years because of how much I love this show and this character and telling a story. So, well, has there been anybody that's influenced you from a professional standpoint? Was there ever an actor or a teacher or a friend or somebody that gave you kind of insight that helps you shape what you've done with Sam Winchester?
Yes, everybody.
I tried. I'm sorry.
Thank you, that answered my question.
I mean it. No, but I do. We're kidding, but in seriousness, I do feel like hopefully Sam Winchester has been some culmination of everything I've ever been through, and everything the writers and producers and directors have ever been through, and hopefully it kind of manifests itself on screen. It's a strange way to look at it. Thank you.
I will say, I'll touch on just as far as, because what's influenced me as far as Dean goes is pretty obvious, and I think that's what Jeff did with John. I remember thinking like, oh, okay, well, he's kind of laid a little bit of a blueprint here for where Dean can go, both emotionally and also physically, and also, John was kind of Dean's hero, and so he would want to idolize his father and imitate his father. And I remember trying to do that, try to lower the voice and be that grovelly stuff. I didn't know we were going to go 14 years, 15 years. And so now I'm much older than Jeff was when he did the pilot of the show.
Yeah, no kidding.
So now I think Misha and I are going to have to seek some sort of vocal, physical therapy when the show's over, just so we can get back to speaking like normal human beings. But no, it's Jeff really kind of laid a good blueprint for me playing Dean a long time ago, and I've just tried to kind of use that as a compass for quite a while. It's served me well.
How demons deposit sulfur? Like in the bank?
No. At a zoo. That's
I think it looks a lot like this. And the cooler way would just be a... and if they ever take off, it's this. And
I think it's very, honestly, I think it's very similar to like when you go to ATM machines and there's that deposit slip. Right next to it is the sulfur deposit. I hate everybody.
You know, I don't know that there is an exact explanation for that. I kind of always assumed it was the way that, you know, humans shed skin cells or hair or something like that. There's just a, oh, like you don't know. Too close. Bubble. Stinky leg. Do the stinky leg. Yeah. I don't know that I have a perfect explanation for that. I just, I kind of always assumed that there was, it happened.
Do you know how?
It's not very biological because we emit fluids or gases.
Okay, next question, please.
No, this is good. Right, but
So powders didn't make sense to me.
a powder didn't make sense to you.
A sulfur deposit.
Right.
of sulfur.
Well, you know, what about a demon smoking out and shooting up into the sky and then wisping it? Does that make sense?
Sure. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I think that's one of those just, it was suspend and believe.
One of those mysteries.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Great. I'm gonna go to sleep tonight being like, yeah, it's powder. How does that happen? Is it like a dry powder? Does it roll on clear?
I want to know what's on your bucket list and what's the strangest thing that's on your bucket list.
Can you do that in American, please? Oh, come on, I'm teasing. Seriously, what? My bucket list.
I think she said pocket.
What's on your bucket list? Just kidding. That's a beautiful accent. I'm just jealous. I'm like, hey guys, like where are y'all going? So I get very envious when I hear somebody who can speak better than I can, which is basically everybody.
So you won't say bucket list. That's no. I don't know. What's the oddest thing on your bucket list?
Shoot.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you have a bucket list?
No, I never made. I certainly have wants, goals.
You have things you're like, I'd like to do that one day.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, Louise. My question is...
No. We are fans. I'm so sorry.
So just
my bucket list is not be an asshole and fake people out. That'll never happen. One of the things on my bucket list, I would love to go on a helicopter ride. I've never done it. It's the small things.
a helicopter ride?
What I meant to say is I want to have a pet cool wall up there.
Stop. Just stop.
What's your? You can't like helicopter ride. You're stupid. What's yours?
I'm gonna see my children grow up. But no, have fun with your helicopter ride. That's gonna be grand.
By the way, I can see my children growing up from the helicopter.
They call that helicopter parenting.
What's that accent?
I don't know.
Thought
I'm a confused person.
Yes. Confused person. That's a bad accent. A really good accent. I had a bad accent. That's one of them. Yorkshire. No, Yorkshire. Yorkshire. Not really. Yes, hi.
Hi. I just want to know if you guys will have any input on how it ultimately ends, or if that will be a total surprise to you guys.
I looked at you.
What is this, like, not it? No, we don't. I don't think that he and I are on board to just like throw it to the wind and be like, yeah, whatever they give us, sweet. I think he and I certainly will. And I know that we've had this conversation with Andrew and with Bob and the guys that are going to make these creative decisions and have expressed our desire to be a part of that process, which I think is the first year we've ever done that. We've always, and it's not as though we don't trust what they're going to deliver, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing, but I just think he and I want to at least be there and you know, if we have any things that we can add, you know, a little spice here, a little spice there, I think that we, you know, this is the year we do that. And so, yeah, we're going to attempt to take a bit more of an active role in the direction and the story this season more than we ever have. I don't know how much they're going to listen to us. They may just be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Which I'm prepared for that. But yeah, I think he and I, we're just, you know, nobody's lived with these characters longer than he and I, and no one's told this story longer than he and I, and I think it would be doing a disservice to the show to not have he and I at least give a stamp of approval, not a stamp, but give the input that I think the show deserves and that these characters deserve. And I think that the writers are like, yes, please, and they have. They're like, listen, please come to the office, sit in, like, let's bounce ideas.
Yeah, they've offered for us to come up. So we finished on Tuesday, and they've invited us up to LA to be a part of the storyboarding, sort of like the exploding dot of a season. So I feel like something wonderful about like Supernatural so far has been Jared and Jensen have almost gone through what Sam and Nina went through, as in we don't know what's next. Like it was sort of like a trial by fire of, listen, you can't plan your life, you can't plan your work, you can't plan your schedule. This is what's going to happen. You're going to work 10 days in a row, 16 hours, and then you'll have a week off. But we're not going to tell you. And not that anybody did it out of malevolence or malice. It was more vicious the way our lives kind of happened. And I feel like there was something nice about finally settling into, okay, this is our life. We're going to be busy. We're going to not know the next episode or the next season. But now I feel like more as a fan of the show, as a fan of the show, I want to have some input as to the basic. I don't want to be that guy, the writer, like the actor who calls the writers like, well, you said we are. Can I say weird? Like it's a weird. Like I don't want to be that guy. I'm not that guy.
He is that guy.
He's that guy. I don't know what that face was. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I feel like I'd like to offer my advice, opinion. If they don't take it, fine.
Yeah. So we'll see what it is, and we'll know what it is before going into next season, and I'm excited.
How do you guys feel about seeing yourselves on screen?
I look great.
Yeah. Have you always felt that way? And have you learned from seeing yourself on screen?
I hate it. I hate it.
Really?
Dude, I don't watch it. Yeah.
What? I don't. But why did you have your trailer converted into one giant mirror on the inside last year?
Design stuff. I saw Max.
Right. It's just a design choice.
Yeah, it was in Guns and Garden. Well, don't judge. It's my style. It's millennial.
I think he and I are pretty similar in the fact that we'll watch ourselves on screen, and it's far less of a all right, yeah, and much more of a like, okay, don't do that face ever again, or okay, that line worked. Okay, that was good. Wow, missed that one. So it's like we're almost taking score. So we're much more critical, I think, of ourselves than hopefully the audience is. Although I don't know, some of the comments in the comment section may disagree with me. I don't do that. I've just been told.
Read comments.
Never read the comments. But it's an objective thing. You know, I watch it to be like, okay, what's working and what's not working, and then try to capitalize on the things that worked the next time I have a scene that's similar. So it's more for research purposes than anything. And it's hard to just sit back and watch ourselves as simply an audience member. I remember
it's hard to be objective. It's hard to look at it and go like, oh, I'll watch this like Game of Thrones or This Is Us or something. You know, you're gonna look at yourself and be like, oh, I remember that scene, shooting it, and oh, that guest star is a friend, we met, whatever. It's really difficult to...
So one of your favorite episodes was the episode where Bobby dies.
Death's Door.
Death's Door. Yeah. And it was obviously not because Bobby was dying, but it was
like 5 days off.
It was a really, really, really strong episode, and it was acted brilliantly with Jim, and it was directed brilliantly by Bob, and it was also an episode that he and I were not in very much, because it was all about telling Bobby's story and how he ends up where he is. And he and I remember watching that in our trailer, because we were working when it aired, and we watched it. And he and I were both just like, that was one of the best TV shows we've seen in a long time. And we quickly realized, it was like, yeah, because we weren't in it. And then we got nervous. We were like, oh my gosh, what does that mean?
There are a few times.
Are we anchors of this show? Are we slowing it down?
So we've officially finished 307 episodes of the show. And there are probably 5 or 6 times that I've watched the show and been like, that's a good TV show, I'd watch that, you know? I'm not saying like it's bad otherwise, but it's difficult to be objective. You know, you watch it and you're like, oh, missed that, nah, look weird, nah, I farted. While watching the show, not in the show. Just now, while answering this question.
Right, which looks like this. I'm sitting next to him, we're watching, and he's like, oh wow, yeah, that looks good. Ooh, wow, sorry about that. What? Wait, rewind it, I missed it, because I was trying to get that one out.
Force is strong right now. No, so I feel like...
There's some people here, this is their first convention, they're like, wow, not what I thought.
Never gonna...
This is an odd side of this show. I should have just stayed home and kept watching it.
Yeah, so it's a long-winded way, I suppose, to say
A long-winded way.
That was kind of mine, I'll take that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen Norton. Round of applause for Stephen Norton, please.
It was a reluctant one.
Safe travels back to Hawaii. See you there in the helicopter? Do you fly the helicopter or just ride with?
No, I'm afraid.
She's like, well, look who's getting their helicopter's pilot's license.
Mahalo.
Jensen, you were amazing last night in the Saturday Night Special.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Not so bad yourself.
You thought he was amazing last night. Nothing funny. Good God.
Long before there was Dean Winchester, there was a little show called Dark Angel. And in that show, there's one episode where you play the piano. You play a beautiful Chopin piece. And I've always wondered if it was really you playing the piano. And do you have any memories from Dark Angel you can share?
Yes, that was part me and part an actual piano player. They kind of cut the two together. I think whenever it went, did the close-up of the hands, that was not me. But I learned about 8 bars of that song and just played them over and over and over and over again. So I was able to get through enough of it to where they could get a shot that they needed. It was a very difficult song to play. Chopin, I believe. Yeah, coming from somebody who'd never played piano before. And funny stories from that. I don't know, that was a while ago. I don't know, I've certainly have a few. I will say that there's some that stand out in my head. One, when I was in a boxing ring and Jessica gets in to fight my character. So it's Max versus Alec, and she's like, okay, so we're gonna start the shot off, and it's gonna be a straight right punch, right to the face, and boom, and I step back. Well, she lined it up like this. She's like, okay. Then she stepped back, and I'm like, all right, well now she's even further back. Well, what I didn't take into account is that she's going to lean into the punch. So she went, boom, and caught me square in the nose. And
which is why it's so jacked up looking.
And that and many other reasons. But it was one of those where, and I was still young enough to be like, well, I can't stop. You know, I can't yell, "Cut, that hurt." And now I'm older and it's
all the time.
I was gonna say now I'm older and more experienced, and yet I still don't say, "Cut, that hurt." But there was that one, and there was another one. There's a lot of me getting hit. There's another one where the Beresford Agenda was the episode, and there was a young actress, and she comes up to me and slaps me. And for some reason, she couldn't get the timing right. Like she couldn't do the fake slap, and so I was kind of getting frustrated. I'm like, just hit me, I'm like, she's, a small girl. Like, how bad could it be? Y'all pack a punch. Cause my whole face welded, but like it was like a welt of just like a handprint with like fingers. And like the whole crew it was like, whack! And the whole crew was like, ooh! I've learned not to let them do that now. That doesn't mean I don't catch a few elbows or knuckles here and there, which is just part of the, that happens every now and again. But I'll never just sign up to get hit anymore. That's, no thanks. I can go out to a bar and get in a fight. I don't need to get defenseless, no defense. You get the point.
Hello. At the end of the Scooby Natural episode, when Dean does the Scooby-Dooby-Doo, I'm wondering about how long that takes. It seems like there's some laughing going on.
So there was a small crowd of people who had gathered across the street. We'd been filming inside the store all day, and there was a small crowd of people that had gathered to watch the film crew. Probably just going like, is it Arrow? Is it Legends of Tomorrow? Oh, it's Sabrina. Oh, okay. I'm just kidding. They knew who we were. And so, well, they did because he hires him to show up so that he can walk out. Jared! Yeah, it's like a whole thing. It's been going on for years.
You forgot the lines though first.
Right. But we walk out onto the street and we've like framed the people out across the street, so they're all still there. I mean, they're within, 20 yards of us. And they can't really hear what we're saying because we're just having regular dialogue. But I knew that as soon as I did that line, people were gonna be like, what? Because they didn't know we were filming. And I just remember thinking this is really embarrassing. And I was legitimately embarrassed to say that line because there was a bunch of people who didn't understand the context and didn't know that we were doing a crossover show and the whole thing. And I'm like, they're just gonna hear me say this line from this old cartoon and they're gonna be like, wow, this show has really jumped the shark. They're just pulling out every stop they can. And so it was tough.
They got so old they're animating themselves now.
Yeah, that was an embarrassing moment, legitimately. Yeah.
Was for Jared. My beanie fell off into the water display outside of the Bellagio. Where would you recommend I get a replacement?
The water display outside the Bellagio has a beanie in it.
Yeah, that one's for free.
It's free. Did you jump in? Did you really?
Yeah, it was my favorite beanie, and the wind blew it off, and it's still there.
But wash that. Word to the wise. Word to the wise. Wash it. Did your watch fall off?
Jared, I have a question for you. My favorite watch.
Jensen, my underwear just fell off. This is Julian. Julian, this is the SPN family. You are the last question. Do not mess this up.
By the way, I gotta point something out, detail-wise. This is our first ever male last question.
He's like, trailblazer. I like it. All right, what's your question, Tom?
So, in the episode The French Mistake, we all know that Sam and Dean wind up in quote-unquote our world, because it can't really be our world, because as far as I know, Misha isn't dead in a gutter somewhere. But my question is, what happened to you two?
What do you mean?
I mean,
where did we go in the alternate reality? Like, where were the actual actors?
There was a lock in a box.
Right, I got you. They were at a convention.
In Vegas, with Julian, as a matter of fact.
Oh my god, this is the alternate universe!
Honestly, I like to think that somehow Balthazar made them disappear for our benefit. But I also like to think that they maybe just at a convention somewhere and didn't show up for work because they're asshole actors. Ha ha!
Word to the wise. Word to the wise. Wash. Did you wash all off?
Sure, I have a question for you. My favorite watch.
Jensen, my underwear just fell off.